Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Generally, the ones who are caught are usually pretty stupid. That's why they get caught in the first place. Let's start our video with a story about a stupid shoplifter. And I mean really stupid. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. You can't make me leave this bathroom, and I won't. Alright, so this happened today, and unfortunately I didn't get to witness it personally, but I did hear about it after the fact. So I'm just doing my thing in my department when I notice on the other side of the store the assistant store manager, ASM, escorting a uniformed police officer to the back of the store. Well, that's always interesting, so I head over to my team lead and ask him if he has any idea what's going on. He says no. The only radio chatter he's heard was the ASM telling customer service to expect a cop and to direct him upstairs. Okay, weird. So there's nothing I can do at this point to find out more. We hear some intermittent radio chatter from the other managers about the back men's restroom. My team lead and I spend a few minutes spitballing what may have happened. I said maybe some idiot left their gun in the bathroom and the store didn't want the liability of having someone else's gun. A little while later, we see the ASM, the store manager, two cops, and a dude in handcuffs walking down the main aisle. Oh. Now obviously at this point, all I know is that someone's been arrested. The store manager calls out LP to go to a different channel, and my team lead and I eavesdrop. We hear this. Store manager, the warrants are good, so they're going to go ahead and arrest him. Oh, this is getting juicier. Another associate closer to the incident came by my department to drop some returns off, and we began talking about the incident. She had no idea, but said she'd ask one of the team leads in the department the incident occurred in and check back with me. I go to lunch, and as I'm getting ready to finish up my lunch and clock back in, the associate I talked to walked in to clock out for the day. I asked her if she'd found out anything. Apparently, here's what happened. Someone had noticed a guy walking into the bathroom with product, and anyone who works in retail knows this is a big no-no, no product in the bathrooms. I assume it was the store manager who saw it because there was no radio chatter for the IP associates like there normally is. The store manager goes into the restroom, hears the sounds of someone opening packages. Yep, he's shoplifting. Store manager knocks on the door and informs the guest he needs to leave. We don't really call the cops, we mostly just kick them out. The would-be thief refuses to open the door. So store manager calls the cops. ASM escorts the cops to the bathroom and they remove the guest. Somehow. They run his name and warrants pop up. I swear, shoplifters are the dumbest people out there. This guy could have completely avoided arrest had he just complied with the store manager and left when asked to. Instead, he barricades himself in the bathroom and the cops have to come and get him, which results in him being arrested for outstanding warrants. And our second story. If you want a TV, you have to carry it the whole way home. Okay, so where I'm from, there's 2 times a year where you can put anything you want to throw out on your front lawn and it'll be picked up at no cost. I don't know if it's just my home state that does this or if most states or even countries do this. Where I'm living now used to, but doesn't anymore, and that's a basic description of what happens. For kids, it's like Christmas because it's common to go to others' trash piles and grab anything you like. One man's trash is another man's treasure, am I right? I've gotten a desk chair, roller skates, toys, DVD players, a mini trampoline, etc. It's always fun to see what you can find. And now, on to the story. So when I was 12, my mother sold a lot of our things, TVs and such included, and put anything we couldn't or didn't want to sell in storage while she dragged us all over the country for her book tour. We were homeless, living on the road and all that. Anyway, when we finally returned to our home state, we moved into a rental house in a city 4 hours from where we used to live. And then the unpacking happened. My mother had sold the family TV and so stole mine, which I'd purposely kept, and made that the family TV. I was understandably pissed since it wasn't my fault that she'd sold their TV. Why'd I have to give up one of the only big items I'd been allowed to keep? Months went by, and then that glorious day came and my siblings and I were allowed to wander the nearby streets looking for hidden treasures. That year, everyone had been transitioning from analog TVs to digital ones, so the streets were filled with analog TVs that were being thrown out. Almost every house had one on their lawn. I took my siblings home after some successful treasure hunting and begged my mother to help me bring one of the TVs home. It would have taken very little effort on her part to get in the car and drive it to one of the TVs I had walked to and bring it home. We were both used to some heavy lifting, so between the two of us, it would have been a piece of cake and free. But no, she refused. If you want a TV so bad, then you have to carry one back to the house by yourself. It wasn't a challenge or a tone that was in any way positive or encouraging. It was a tone that said, I won't help you, and you can't do it alone, so just give up, with a hint of smugness, waiting for me to dejectedly walk to my room in defeat. No way. Fine. Just make sure to hold the door open for me when I get back so I can get it inside. I turned and left, determined to prove her wrong. Yeah, sure you will, she'd replied, sarcastically. So I went front lawn to front lawn looking for a good TV. There were many that were way too big to carry, and others that didn't have any good way for a singular person to grip them and would slip when I tried to pick them up. Eventually, though, about 2 blocks from our house, I found a still relatively large TV with 2 grip holds and was square enough for me to pick up. I lugged that thing, arms protesting and back aching the whole way home, and set it down right in front of the door. Knock, knock, knock. Mom, come hold the front door open for me. The look on her face was priceless. She just stood there dumbfounded before I reminded her that I'd only done what she'd told me to do. I brought that baby inside and placed it on my TV stand, where I proceeded to hook up my DVD player and give my mother a crap-eating grin when it turned on. I had that TV for years until I eventually had to put it out on my own front lawn when I got a digital TV of my own. The funny thing about this, though, is that the TV had to be moved a couple of times while I owned it, moving house and the like, and I couldn't lift it again. It was too heavy. And even with my mother helping, we both struggled to get it out of the house. Yet 12-year-old me had managed to lift it all by herself. The desire to maliciously comply and spite my mother gave me a momentary burst of super strength in order to accomplish my task. I still look back and laugh at how my stubbornness and spite empowered me like that. There's literally nothing like the strength we get when we need to be petty. And our last story. Told my in-laws to keep their paws off my mother's house. When my 34-year-old female father passed away 6 years ago, we were very well off. So my mom, brothers, 29 and 26, and I ended up inheriting a lot. My brothers live abroad and didn't want the hassle of dealing with the properties, so they signed their shares over to me. After discussing with them, I sold off all the properties except for a 1 BHK in an area that's at the outskirts of the city. That apartment was being occupied by a longtime employee of our family business, and we let them live there for free. With my money and some of the family money, I bought 2 flats, 3-bed, 3-bath, in a really nice building. It's got amazing security, a gym, a terrace garden, and a swimming pool, and is in a really nice location. I took 1 flat, and my mom lives in the other. We're really close to our mom, and she's a super chill lady who's been the best mom we could have asked for. Our dad was very controlling and made her miserable, so we're determined to do whatever we can to let her enjoy her life now. Now the issue. My husband, 36, and I have been married for 3 years. He moved into my flat because his parents and brother live in a 2-bedroom flat, and we would have no space. Plus, my mother-in-law is not a fan of how I'm not subservient to my husband and am independent and run my own business. So we felt the space would be better. Now, 2 things have happened. My brother-in-law, 38, has gotten engaged, and our longtime employee has retired and is moving back to his hometown, which means that his flat is going to be empty. I guess husband mentioned it to my brother-in-law, who's now saying that I should move my mother into the 1-bedroom and let them, father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, and future son-in-law, move into my mother's flat. I refused. At most, I could probably let brother-in-law move into the 1-bedroom flat, but he doesn't want it because it's so far away from the city. Well, my mother-in-law and brother-in-law didn't like that and said no, so they went behind my back and asked my mom if she would move. My mom's a sweet lady, and she didn't want me to have issues with the in-laws, so she told me that she would be okay with moving. I was fuming mad, and I told my brothers, and they agreed they would not want my mom to move. I was going to politely tell them no, but when they came over, I heard my mother-in-law and brother-in-law telling my husband that he was not a man and how could he not support his family. That I was a controlling bee and my mom was just a widow and didn't need much in life anyway. She should be grieving and not enjoying luxuries. I lost my crap and yelled at them to keep their paws off my mother's house and to get out of mine too. My husband agreed and they were really rude and horrid, but also that I shouldn't have yelled at his mother and that he was trying to sort this amicably. I was still pissed and told him I wanted nothing to do with people who spoke about me and my mom this way. Some more context, my mom owns the flat she lives in. It's all in her name. I own the flat husband and I live in. The one-bedroom flat's also in my name because it's technically company property and I'm the CEO. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.